The UK government and the Bank of England say a digital pound is likely to be needed in the near future, and they have started work on its detailed design. A digital pound issued and guaranteed by the Bank of England will sit in the wallets of smartphones or smart cards provided by private companies, which could be commercial banks or technology firms. These wallet operators would in turn have access to the Bank of England's payment infrastructure, including a call ledger, to provide digital pounds to users. This all means that people would not have access, or rather would not have bank accounts with the Bank of England. One digital sterling will be worth the same as a physical pound. A digital pound will not pay interest, and the Bank of England has also promised not to impose a negative interest rate equivalent to a charge to hold money. Okay, operators of digital wallets would have to hold a user's data securely. The Bank of England would receive only anonymized information on digital sterling transactions. The wallet operators would carry out know your customer and anti-money laundering checks similar to those done by banks on customer accounts. Law enforcement agencies could ask for information from wallet operators in the same way they can seek access to bank accounts as it is today. Payments involving digital pound will be very similar to those of today, using debit cards, credit cards, payments with smartphones, or payment services such as PayPal. A digital sterling would seek to ensure payment systems such as these still exist, as wallet operators would have access to the Bank of England's infrastructure. A key ambition in the preparatory work being done by the UK government treasury and the Bank of England is a defensive one. Officials hope that a digital pound would stop the formation of walled gardens in which it is difficult to send money between operators of different payment systems, as it was in the case of Alipay and WeChat Pay, both of which are Chinese enterprises. So the Bank of England also wants a digital pound to ensure payments are denominated in sterling to retain monetary sovereignty. A digital sterling will be quite different to a cryptocurrency such as Bitcoin, which has no intrinsic value and is better described as maybe an asset, not essentially a currency. It will be more similar to stable coins, a class of crypto assets that are pegged to underlying assets to keep its value steady. Officials say they do not foresee a digital sterling will be programmable by the Bank of England, which could allow it to control how money was spent and where. However, wallet operators could allow consumers to set limits on spending. One key question is how offline payments will function, both for those uneasy with digital services in areas where internet connectivity is poor or limited. So UK government ministers and the Bank of England say cash will still remain in existence. But while demand for cash is still high, as it is right now, its use in transactions is plunging. At some point, this trend will raise questions, or may raise questions, about how physical banknotes are being hoarded but not utilized. UK government legislation transiting the Parliament includes some provisions to preserve access to cash. But in future, if the number of users of cash continues to fall, UK government ministers' stance on physical banknotes might change. So that is something that may or may not change, or yes, as time goes on. So what of commercial banks? Are they going to be disintermediated? Okay, on a day-to-day basis, the idea is for banks to operate seamlessly alongside a digital pound. But there is a concern that if the bank lost the confidence of its customers, it will be easier to convert deposits into digital pounds than physically remove them from the institution. This could make bank runs more likely and far more easier. The government hopes the Financial Services Compensation Scheme, which guarantees customers deposits in UK bank accounts up to £85,000, will help maintain confidence in banks. But to further address the risk of runs, Sir John Conleaf, Bank of England's deputy governor, said there will be an individual limit on holdings of digital sterling of between 10,000 to 20,000 pounds. The conundrum that officials face is that the lower the limit, the less danger there is to commercial banks. Yet in turn, that will mean less use of digital pounds for transactions. So the Bank of England is laying groundworks for a digital pound. The currency would sit in wallets, on smartphones, on smart cards, and will be provided by private banks, including commercial banks. So see what you make of all of these, and thank you very much for watching this video.